Australia's August unemployment numbers will be released any second now by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Our business reporter Edward Boyd is live with us, waiting for the drop. Ed, have they come through yet? And
They've
what's
just
the
come through,
expectation?
Ash.
How do things look like they're meeting up?
So the expectation was the unemployment rate would remain stable at 3.7%. That's exactly what's happened during the month of August. So economists were predicting roughly 25,000 jobs would be created during the month of August. Remember, we need to have quite a high level of job creation at the moment due to Australia's large numbers of migration and population growth. So we need big job numbers every month to push the unemployment rate down. Remember, the unemployment rate has been close to 3.5%. For the last 2 years or so, which is the lowest level since roughly the end of 1974. So unemployment rate has been close to record lows for quite a long period of time. Just looking at the media release from the Bureau of Statistics, they say, this is Bjorn Jarvis, the head of Labour Statistics, employment increased by around 65,000 people. The number of unemployed people during the month only dropped slightly by around 3,000 people. Unemployment rate, it remains steady at 3.7%. The large increase in employment in August came after a small drop in July around the school holiday period. But looking over the past 2 months, so July and August, the average employment growth was around 32,000 people per month. Monthly hours worked fell by 0.5% during August, while employment rose by 0.5% for hours worked as well. It looks like a pretty strong month for the jobs market overall. Obviously, as I said before, with population growing so quickly, the unemployment rate and the amount of jobs created each month needs to get higher and higher to push the unemployment rate down. So it is close to record lows still. It is at 3.7%. And the expectation is the unemployment rate will slowly creep ahead, Ash, towards the end of this year and into next year as well.
So, Ed, as we look at this data, how much of an impact does migration and population growth have on those figures?
Well, just recently, the ABS put out some stats showing our population increased 1.8% in the previous financial year. And when you look at that on a month-on-month basis with our population at just over 26 million, it's roughly 40 to 42,000 additional people added to Australia's population every month at the moment. That obviously creates challenges across the economy in regards to finding jobs for these additional people. Obviously, it affects the unemployment rate as well. So we did see a large amount of jobs created this month, but the unemployment rate still remains stable. If we'd had 65,000 jobs created a couple of years ago in a single month, it would have definitely pushed the unemployment rate down. But because our population keeps growing, it's causing some challenges just on a statistical standpoint, at least, for unemployment. So jobless rate is still very low at 3.7%, but economists do expect it will slowly start to rise over the course of this year.
Ed, the RBA is embarking on a new era. We're going to see Michelle Bullock take over as the RBA governor next week. What are her views, do we know, on the employment market?
Well, she gave a keynote speech back in June where she talked about what is full employment and employment in Australia. And she basically said in that speech that she sort of expects the natural rate of employment in the country to be at about 4.5%. So right now, obviously, the unemployment rate is a lot lower than that at 3.7%. So the expectation, at least from Michelle Bullock, the new governor of the Reserve Bank, she starts on Monday, is for the unemployment rate does need to slowly start rising. Here's what's happened to the stock market. So you can see the market was up about 0.25% before the numbers came out. It's dipped very slightly. You can see that small dip at the very edge of the screen there. So it's still up by about 0.16%, but it has come off a little bit. Aussie dollar, though, has surged. Remember, the dollar's been around 64 US cents for the past week or so. It's been close to a 10-month low. It started surging a little bit today, up about 0.25%, just off the back of these figures. And we can also look at the government bond yield, the one-year government bond yield. You can see that's just pretty much bang on 4% as well. So there's been a bit of a slight market reaction today, but remember, we were expecting the rate to remain flat at 3.7%. So that's happened. So there hasn't been huge jumps in the stock market and in the currencies like we might see in another month where the rate does actually go up or go down.
Ed Boyd, appreciate your analysis. Thank you.